part 36. I'm going to jump over here real quick, and I've got a sheet of this 36 by 48 polycarbonate Tufac 0.093 inch, and this stuff works pretty good. One thing you want to do is get a board or something and go ahead and pre-drill a hole through each corner, big enough that the screw will go through. You don't want it to touch the threads. This one's a little bit small, but I'm cleaning them up as I'm going here. So, but anyway, you want to take and rip, if I can find a tape measure. This is my life. Do yourself a favor and buy more than one tape measure. So what happened is I ripped these 11.5, I believe, or yeah, more like 10 and 7/8. And I ended up with 10.5. So I could have squozed that down at least another 1/8 of an inch. So if I'd have ripped this at like 10 3/4, somewhere between 10 3/4 and 10 and 5/8, like ripped it right in that groove there, I would have had enough to cover all these windows and plenty to catch that back window. But these are 36 inches wide, so it's the full sheet. And if you try to get a piece of acrylic and you try to rip it on a table saw, it's going to explode. So just so you know that. And these are a little bit over 36. So if you rip 3 pieces right at the 10 and 5/8, so that the blade kerf goes down the middle, you should end up with 3 perfect pieces. And then this last piece, you rip that in half, and you get it's almost 15.5 by 18, basically. So you can do your rip at 18, and you'll split that last piece in half, and you'll get all of your pieces out of one sheet of this stuff, because this stuff ain't cheap. So everything we can do to save a dime in today's world, we will do it. And that is another one of the reasons that I put this this back section here in plywood, because if this was one big long window, then you'd have to buy another sheet just to cover that last section. So we're avoiding that. So I put the screws in here. I went every 9 inches, basically along the bottom. So you can go, 9, 18, and 27 to get those screws in. And then this one here, I just split the difference, so 5 1/4, and that should be enough screws to hold that on. And this one, I just tacked it on there for now. Right here in the corner, you may want to take a grinder or something and just nick the corner off of there if it's hitting your hardware, to be able to fit it on there squarely. But I wanted to show you real quick how this drill bit works, if I can get it to work. So let's pretend like I measured this. So that little tapered bit, it goes right through it's worth it to go ahead and get one of these. They'll have a countersink on it, but it'll, this one, it broke off, so the countersink's not with us anymore. But these are just really super handy for driving screws. And then I've got these 1-inch Tex pan head number 2 Phillips, and you could get by with 3/4. In fact, some places it'd almost be preferable to have 3/4. So we're gonna screw these in, and you want to just snug these up tight. You don't want to over tighten these, because you can actually crack the plastic. So just be gentle, snug them up. It's not going anywhere. And then I'll come back and I'll go ahead and throw a screw here and a screw up there, and then you got your windows on. And then when you peel this plastic off, wherever your cut edge is, you're probably going to have a bunch of little snaggies on the edge, and you can just hit that with a file to take those off. Works pretty good. See a little snaggies on the edge there. So I just run a file across there. You can use a block and a piece of sandpaper, whatever you want. But anyway, just figured I'd jump ahead and go ahead and do that because I didn't know if I was going to need another sheet, and I wanted to make sure I cut that out and got that figured out before I had to stop at the store. So one of the reasons I didn't get this stuff here, which I'm going to do next time, if I ever do another one, I'm just going to go ahead and use this stuff because it took way too long to do the FRP, in my opinion. But it's a 3-hour round trip for me to go get this. So I tried the FRP because I could get it locally. All right.